Hello and welcome back to another episode of a cedh bling builds. Um, to celebrate October and Innistrad and Halloween and all this stuff, we're gonna showcase Anje Falkenrath, vampire, a major player from Innistrad, right? Apparently, if you're like a weeb and you're into that sort of thing. Um, so I know on this channel, I know on these videos I usually feature like really like shiny builds, right? This deck not so much. It's primarily two reasons. And I don't want the Anye mains or the Team Rakdos people to get upset, but I don't care about madness cards enough to foil them all out and get their original printings. It's absurd. Uh, and uh, and I don't care enough about like Rakdos. I'll play Rakdos if it's Rakdos X. So my mana base, not so shiny. The madness cards, not so shiny. They're just things that aren't like high priority for me. But nonetheless, let's get straight into it. Anje Falkenrath. She's a very cheap creature that comes on board with haste, and she primarily wants to rummage through the deck to find combos that allow for infinite mana, and from there you could find your infinite mana outlet. What makes Anya really interesting, no one ever talks about her. She's fast, like she's Sanic fast, right? She is essentially a 60 card commander deck. With the release of Modern Horizons 2, we got I think like 5 or 6 more madness cards, and no one talked about that. No one talked about that. No one ever talks about the fact that Anye is essentially a 60 card commander deck. And once we return to Innistrad again, for the second part where it's a vampire, some vampire wedding, or some stupid shit like that, we might get even more madness cards. Maybe she becomes a 50 card deck. Now, unfortunately, for all that madness, the slots in the deck, we get a little tight. Fortunately, she's so fast that the mana base could be cut a lot. Could be reduced, so she can have a teeny tiny mana base. So yeah, let's get straight into the deck. We have Anje Falkenrath, and we have Dockside Extortionist when it's a good card. Depending on your opponents. In casual circles, I'm sorry, but Dockside's trash. The only way you're going to get Dockside, the only way you're going to go even on Dockside in a casual circle is on turn 6. But with Dockside, we could find Cloudstone Curio, Loop these Scoopty Whoops, to generate infinite mana that way, or we could find circa 1975 Worldgorger Dragon combo, and what that combo entails. I never paid Worldgorger the respect to bling him out, unfortunately. I'm sorry. It's something I really considered, but the deck, this combo is just so outdated. It's not worth my time. But anyway, let's get into the Worldgorger combo. Worldgorger, of course, wants to find one of these reanimation auras, either Animate Dead, Necromancy, or Dance of the Dead, assuming that Worldgorger is in the graveyard, right? We could then get one of these premature burials, special summon Worldgorger. Worldgorger will then bounce all your permanents, and then that includes the aura. You'll get slammed back on the board, retargeting Worldgorger, and you rinse and repeat. Of course, you're going to tap down all your lands and float lands and mana rocks, float that mana as much as you need to. The only way to finish the combo, however, is to have another creature to target. So keep that in mind if you're trying to go off in a deck with maybe not so many creatures, but a Worldgorger combo in it. And then our outlet will have cut. Just kidding. We'll have ribbons, which is pretty much like an exsanguinate, right? Each opponent loses X life. G's. This will be pitched through Anje, or you could just cast a cut, whatever, and then cast the ribbons later. And then another infinite mana outlet will have Avacyn's Judgment, where you pitch it for its X Madness and Pew Pew everybody. Another way to Pew Pew everybody is through Sunscorched Desert. If you have the worldgorger combo going on, it's going to enter, re-enter, 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 Pew 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 everybody. Which is, I like these Pew 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 win conditions. It's a very, very flavorful, right, for Anje, who's a vampire. You see what I mean? And then our last resort. This is last resort. If you are hellbent, right, you could just infinitely bounce a Bloodhole Priest. You could do this through a dockside loop if you could produce enough treasure through a cloudstone curia, or through your worldgorger combo. Very, very important. But of course, you have to be hellbent, which can be, I guess, achieved through a Lion's Eye Diamond or something like this. And then with the Lion's Eye Diamond, of course, we're going to be in Underworld Breach. Just a nice way to recur some important pieces in the graveyard, or just a combo off, your choice. Moving along to our counter package. We're in Rakdos, so we got to keep it abstract, right? You can't keep it simple. We have our Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, a Deflecting Swat, and Tybalt's Trickery. I had Imp's Mischief, but it's just a card I needed to cut. I just couldn't find the space. Maybe I switch back and forth between that or a Tybalt's Trickery. I've never actually ran Tybalt's Trickery in real life, so when I try it out this weekend, it'll be interesting to see if Imp's Mischief is in fact the better card. Our drawer package, we have a Faithless Looting, a Wheel of Misfortune, and a Wheel of Fortune. Simple. Our Tutor package, Tainted Pact. So you're going to assume some of the decisions I made with my mana base. Mausoleum Secrets, which is really strong in this deck. Really, really strong in this deck. It's a card that I have to get a black card with a CMC extra less of creatures. Okay, so there are a shit ton of Manus creatures in this deck. And so Mausoleum Secrets could really pull me anything if timed correctly. Vampiric Tutor. Scheming Symmetry. It's more or less a one-sided tutor for me, because Anje is just so fast, and if I can rummage through the deck and not whiff, then it should be a wrap. So it doesn't matter what your opponent finds with their half of Scheming Symmetry. Gamble, worst card in existence. Just gamble the worldgorger dragon so that your opponent could just discard it. Just kidding. I just have terrible gamble luck. Demonic Tutor, Imperial Seal, and then a ritual package. Very simple. Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Songs of the Damned. What? What's the Songs of the Damned? Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. We have Songs of the Damned, which is a ritual for each creature in your graveyard. Again, this card could get really carried away out of control if played correctly. Not even if played correctly. Played whenever. If I'm going to just rummage the deck, I'll get a ton of Madness creatures into the grave. And the Songs of the Damned could be, could be for 1 black, just float like 7 black mana. It'd be like that. And then an interesting tech card, Shadow of the Grave. For 1 and a black, you get to start the party all over again. If you have a rummage and you whiff, that's fine. You get a second chance. So Shadow of the Grave is a really, really sweet second chance. Now, I know some of these Anje decks are on the Titans, but I don't know if you guys know how I feel about Titans. Besides them being a combo piece and get drug, Titans are scrub cards for scrubs who hardcast them and beat you in the head, and you should be very, very ashamed of yourself if you get beat in the head by a hardcasted Titan. But there are a couple of ways to win through a Titan in Anje, and it's stupid and convoluted and a waste of time, where you'll use some of these Madness burn cards, like a Fiery Impulse, to cast a Fiery Impulse and eventually pitch a Titan and rummage and cast you see what I'm saying? You could whiff on your rummaging, and it's not good. It's not a guaranteed win. And if you have all that infinite mana from like a worldgorger, then like do something else with your life, with your time. We're gonna get into the Madness cards. I separated this in two piles. The first pile are the Madness cards that do something, and the second pile are the Madness cards, at least in this deck, that don't do much of anything. For that, I'm not going to name them. I'm just, because it's a lot of big clunky names and just Madness cards. You could go in like a database and look up this stuff for yourself if you're building this deck. We have a Call to the Netherworld, Anje's Ravager, Psychotic Episode, Biting Rain, Dark Withering, Alchemist's Greeting, Igor Slick, Fiery Temper, A Murder's Compulsion, Big Game Hunter, Terminal Agony, Revolutionist, and then Voldaren Pariah, which is a really cool card. Not a good card, just a cute card, and I like my cute cards. So if you could pull this off, she turns into Abolisher of Bloodlines. Look at that art. Oh my god, she's like an eldritch horror. Oh my god, she's like a haunted vagina. She's like everything you want, and like a spooky creature. I love it. I love it. So if you have the opportunity to cast her, just cast her for the lulz. And then the rest of the Madness cards that I don't care about, right? And we're just going to go through this. We got Madness here, Madness there, boom, bam. I'm not going to name them. These are just Madness cards in flavor text for this deck. I'm sure they have utility and other things, but not here. And 40 in total, I think there are 40 Madness cards. I don't have the Madness enchantments. No particular reason why. I just don't have them. If we get more Madness cards in the new Innistrad, then of course they're going to go in the deck. And then our ritual creatures, we have a Simian Spirit Guide, Prospector, and Blood Pet. And then our artifacts, we have Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mox Diamond, Chromox, LED, Lotus Petal, and a Jeweled Lotus. And then our lands package. Very quickly, we have our 7 fetches. Again, don't hate me, but it's just not worth my time or effort to bling out some of these lands. We have a Swamp, Snow Swamp, Mountain, Snow Mountain, Badlands, a Blood Crypt, Luxury Suite, and then a Sulphur Spring, a Blight Step Pathway, and then the rest we have an Ancient Tomb, Gemstone Cavern, Command Tower, Mana Confluence, and of course a City of Brass. And there you have it. There you have your girl, Anje Falkenrath, putting in work, making opponents cry because she's just really, really fast. Really, really fast. The notable exclusions, of course, in the deck are like Peer into the Abyss, Ad Nauseam. There's no way you can Ad Nauseam in this deck. You Ad Nauseam in this deck, you rest in peace yourself. But yeah, that's the deck. Fun deck. I'm going to try it out this weekend because it's like Halloween, and I just want to make opponents cry with pretty much this is Vampire Tribal, because she's on board when you win for the most part. She's your means to find your win, and how she wins is by just literally draining life. That is so flavorful in my opinion. So she's Vampire Tribal. Anyway, let me know what you want to see next. Thanks.